Hey, I'm Tristan from Cocopelli, and today we are going to patch a hole in a PVC pack raft like our XPD right here. So I know there's a hole somewhere over here, so we're going to use some soapy water. This is going to bubble up when we find a hole, as well as help clean the pack raft off. So we're just going to spray some on and look for some bubbles. And right here we can see some bubbles coming up. So what we're going to do is take a Sharpie and wipe that off and mark that little hole. There's also another little mark right there, a little ding. So while we're in here, this one's not leaking, but we're going to put a patch over that too, just in case. So now that we found the holes, we're going to wipe off that soapy water, and then we're going to let the air out of this boat while we gather the supplies we need to patch this hole. We have everything we need set out right here. We have our patch kit. We're going to open that up. Inside the patch kit, we have patch material, alcohol wipes, and some glue. We have a brush to rub the glue on with. We have a little roller with a rasp on it. We have a pencil to outline the patch, scissors to cut the patch, and some weights to hold the patches in place while it cures overnight. With our patch right here, it's got two sides on the material. One smooth side and one that's a little rougher. We're gonna apply the glue to the rougher side. We have a rasp right here. You can also use a little bit of like 80 grit sandpaper, and we're just gonna real lightly rough that up a little bit more. Same thing with our two holes on the pack raft. Really lightly kind of rough that up, just to add a little bit of texture there so the glue can adhere a little bit better. And rough that one up a little bit too. Next step is going to be to take your alcohol wipes and clean off the patch as well as the boat where you just roughed it up and where the hole is. So we're going to clean that hole right there. We're going to clean this other scuff mark that we're going to patch. And clean up that patch too, just in case there's any little extra material that we sanded off there. So we have a nice clean surface to work with. Next step is we're going to cut out two circular patches. Usually you want to go about 1 inch bigger than the hole itself. These are two tiny small holes, but we'll just use what we got right here and just make a big circle out of both of these right here. We're going to lay the patch out and then trace around with a pencil where it should be. Time to glue. So we have our glue right here, we have our patches, we have a brush, we have the boat. So we're going to open up this glue. It's sealed. We're going to use the cap to puncture that. We're going to put a little bit of glue on there, and we're going to do one at a time. So we're going to put some glue on that one, and then just a thin coat on there. You don't want too much glue on there, just one real nice thin coat. Make sure to get all around those edges as well. Put a little bit more glue on our brush, and we're going to smear that right around in that circle where we had that marked off. We're going to put a little bit of glue on the second patch and start brushing that one on there. Get a nice thin layer on this one as well. I'm going to leave that one and then put one more little coat on this second hole. Trying to stay in the lines as best we can so we don't have a lot of glue overlap. If you are worried about glue overlap, you can tape that off, but even if you have a little bit on there, it's not too big of a deal. So we're just going to try and stay in the lines as best we can. We're going to let that coat dry for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's tacky, and then we're going to do one more coat after that. So it's been about 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to add a second layer of glue now. So the same exact process, add a little bit of glue to the patch. I'm just going to wipe that on right there. Just a real thin layer, making sure to spread it evenly across the entire patch, especially on those edges so those don't peel up. Same thing, we're going to let that dry for about 3 to 5 minutes. Next, we're going to add a little bit of glue to the boat for that second layer. Smear that on. Trying to stay within those lines, but if you go over a little bit, it's totally fine. And while we're at it, we're going to do that second patch as well. So a little bit of glue on there. And a little bit of glue to the second patch on the boat. So we have 2 coats of glue on both patches and both the boats. We're going to wait for those to dry a little bit until they get tacky, another 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to adhere the patches to the boat. So it's been about 3 minutes. This glue is nice and tacky, so we're going to adhere this patch to the boat right there. We're going to press it on, just like how you would press on a sticker, trying to make sure there's no air bubbles or bumps or anything. And then either take a roller or a little plastic scraper and smooth that out, making sure that you get it nice and solid on there. Try and scrape out any air bubbles or bumps or anything so it securely adheres to the packraft. So we have that one on place. We're going to use a weight and set that on there to hold that in place, just to kind of keep it in there. Next, we're going to use the second patch here, and we're going to place that one over this hole, pushing it in place there. And we'll use the roller on this one. So just rolling over the entire patch. And you want to hit it from different angles as well, just to make sure that it really bonds solid to the packraft. Grab the second weight, and we're going to set that right on top of that patch. We have these 2 patches drying. We're going to let them cure for at least 24 hours. 48 hours is better. After that, we're going to remove the weights and then blow the boat back up and do another leak test to make sure that the patches are holding. The patches have been drying and curing for just over 48 hours now, so we're going to remove the weights and see how they turned out. There's the first patch. And our second patch. Now that we have the patches on, we're going to reinflate the packraft and check it out and do a leak test and see how the patches are holding. Now that the boat's fully inflated, we're going to do one last leak test with some soapy water, spray it on there, and double check for bubbles. No bubbles coming up, so it looks like we're good. One final test is we're going to leave this packraft inflated for another 24 hours just to make sure that that patch is holding and everything's looking good, and then we're ready to hit the water. If you have any questions, let us know and hit us up at cocopelli.com.